First reading for the audience. So if y'all would come on up one at a time and give your name and address.
Good afternoon. My name is Corie Wilson, Columbus resident. Quickly, I just want to speak on this. First and foremost, I want to say I am not in support of any teens being outside at 1 o'clock in the morning. That has been the status quo pushed by a lot of people, followers in here, that I'm against. That I want teenage children to be outside at 1 o'clock in the morning. That is not the case. Parents need to parent their children, number one. Number two, police need to do their job. And if we're talking about data, my lived experience is data. I'm 34 years. I've been black 34 years. That is data that I can talk about that happens to me because I look like this. And we cannot disrefute that or disregard that in the implementation of this curfew. The main thing is the community had no involvement in the process of bringing this forth to the public or to council to implement to my child. The community had no involvement. We had no say so. If we didn't come to this meeting, if I wasn't really paying attention, I would have not known. And if my child would have turned of age, I bought her a car and she went downtown, who's responsible? And I know there's more shops down there that close after 9 p.m. because I frequent downtown often. We go to Freeze Frame often. They close at like 10:30, somewhere in there. So 9 o'clock is extremely too early. Like one of the council said, it's still light outside. So that's unfair. That's number one. So more data that I've pulled. The state assessment of Georgia juvenile justice system found that Muskogee County, this county, had 38 instances of disproportionate minority contact, DMC, over a 9-year period across 6 different outcomes. The report recommended that Muskogee County be added to the state's core counties for intervention strategies due to persistent and high DMC for African-American youth. Those African-American youth, they're me. They look like me. I understand I look like this. I understand I may look like my perception or my image may scare a lot of people in here, but those kids out there who's not, cause like it's like the main thing that we can hear, oh, they got guns. It's the rhetoric that's being pushed by city leaders that is upsetting people. The rhetoric that like all these kids got guns, all these kids are doing this, all these kids are doing that. That's the issue that the community is having a problem with. That's the issue that I'm having a problem with. I'm not against the curfew. The curfew is needed. Parents need to parent their children. The thing about it is that people cannot sit up here and discredit the lives of people who live discrimination. They have been subject to profiling by the police, which I have been downtown where I spend my money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, and I don't hold no grudges against them because I understand. I completely understand. It's the world we live in. It's society. It's reality. I understand it. The only thing that's I guess upsetting is the fact that they made a presentation and it demonized children that look like mine. They created this ordinance and then they say, oh, it's not about race, but we didn't include this data. We didn't include this data where Columbus has been flagged. We didn't include that data in creating the ordinance. And then we keep saying, oh, Uptown is special. Uptown is a big revenue district. The taxpayers are the biggest revenue in Columbus. We all pay taxes here. If that's to my knowledge. And my tax dollars, I want my child to be able to have access to things my tax dollars funded. That's the only issue. When we ban children at certain times or whatever, and I'm not saying they're not down there doing anything wrong because I know they are. But it's up to the police. It's up to the parents. We cannot, this city has 200,000 people. We're going to make a blanket ordinance and criminalize children for the actions and stuff over 1 or 2. And yes, 1 death is wrong. 1 death is too many. People die every day. I understand that. It's a lot of crime going on in Columbus. Well, let me take that back. Crime has gone down. I like just riding around and not being like, oh, somebody may rob me. I don't feel like that. Nowhere I go in Columbus. I don't feel scared. Nowhere I go in Columbus. Nowhere. Whether I go to the south side, whether I go to the north side, no matter where I go, I don't feel scared. Now, other people, that's their experience. They haven't lived the experience I live. They don't know how I had to code switch and do other things to maintain where I am and get to where I got in society. And that's the part that's upsetting. I got some more things. I think I really covered all of them. Hold on. Okay, so one thing I got to say, the main thing is that the community should have been involved. It shouldn't have to come to this, to where we keep having to go back, we're talking, we're doing this or this and that. When the ordinance was created, the people of Uptown Business District, they shouldn't have reached out to the community. They say they did, I didn't get no notice. I don't think nobody in here got a notice. I talked to a lot of the people who have a lot of the youth organizations in the city, they didn't get no notice that these programs that could help these kids, nobody got a notice. Uptown pushed it, and they're in here lobbying for it, and it seems like we can't even get our side heard because it seems like we're wrong for asking to, hey, can we get an input on this before y'all implement this? And that's the part that's really frustrating. Like, yeah, Uptown create money, and they're a big economic part of the city, but that's on y'all too. No other parts of the city has that much economic revenue coming. That's why we lean on Uptown so much. No other part of the city is built up like Uptown. Another thing that the kids asked, because I was out there translating what the kid was saying to the counselors because they couldn't understand the child. They don't speak the child lingo. I do. I have children. And one of the things the kid said, Dr. Broad would ask him, hey, if you could go somewhere and do something, what would it look like? He said, it would look like Uptown. That's exactly what he said. It would look like Uptown. Now tell me where in Columbus it looks like Uptown, besides Uptown. What other district has like bids or community reinvestment funds to make those sides of town look good or look like Uptown? None of them. That is the main issue. That is the main issue. They have nowhere to go, and we're trying to criminalize them because they have nowhere to go. But it is what it is. I understand it's going to have to get done. It's going to have to get passed. The only thing that I ask is that elected officials whose job it is to govern over all their constituents in their districts, not just a select few, not just business owners. They need to pander and cater to everybody in their districts, not just Uptown Business District. Thank you.
Thank you.